Welcome to this very special Halloween episode of Talk About It. There are surprises around every turn. Nothing scary, but very exciting. On this episode of Talk About It.
What is it like? So you're the Geico Caveman.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I used to do a lot of theater in Los Angeles. They happened to see me in this crazy play. I came in, I read for them, and then I did that for about a decade. And then it went off for a decade, and then last year I did another whole year of it.
Are you going to be doing more?
I don't know. You never know.
That character is so good. Hey, I'm Greg Grunberg, and welcome to Talk About It, the podcast where we focus on topics that everybody should be talking about, and hopefully they will, or not only talking about, but screaming about.
Epilepsy shouldn't keep you from doing anything that you want to do.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
This season, we are going to continue to talk about living with epilepsy, like my son and millions of Americans who do. We're also going to be looking at other related conditions and causes. Our goal is to knock down, drag out, eliminate stigma, and raise awareness. Oh, and hopefully have a laugh or two along the way. Each of our episodes will feature amazing advocates and champions. We will learn together how to make a real difference in our own lives and in the lives of our communities.
Talking about it is important. It's all about connecting.
Talk about it.
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 Thank you for talking about it.
Thank you for talking about it.
New season, new look, new sponsor. Thank you to Neurelis and everyone at Neurelis for sponsoring Talk About It. Talk About It is also sponsored by Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Thank you, Jazz, for always being there for us. All right, let's jump right into this episode of Talk About It. Happy Halloween! Hey! Welcome to a really cool, spooky, fun, and when I say spooky, I don't mean scary spooky, I mean really cool, spooky Halloween episode of Talk About It. First of all, have a safe and happy Halloween. I hope you are. This is one that I've wanted to do for a long time. I think this is our first Halloween-themed podcast episode, and I think you're going to get a lot out of this. And I have the coolest guest to introduce you to, someone that I have been gatekeeping, I guess, for a long time. He's an old friend of mine. We did a movie together many, many years ago. This guy has played so many characters that people will be dressing up as Halloween night. You're going to see some of the people dressed in the characters that he has played. Anyway, he's been Herman Munster. He's been the Geico Caveman. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hello to my very special guest, our very special guest for this Halloween episode of Talk About It, Jeff Daniel Phillips. Welcome to the Halloween episode of Talk About It. So excited that we're doing this sort of dual purpose interview right now, which is really cool. Yes. I mean, this whole thing started because you asked me to do an interview for this movie that you did.
Yeah. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah. And look, we have a surprise.
I know. We have Jake.
Right. We have spare parts.
Yeah.
Jake, just in case something happens with me. First of all, let's just go back and just talk a little bit about, how you and I met, because we met on a movie that was, in the spirit of a lot of the really cool stuff that you do, independent as it gets.
That was quite independent, and I think I just showed up as a homeless man, already dressed, that I already dressed up at home, and I came on set, and I just jumped in the middle of it, and so you were in a car, and I don't even know if you knew I was real or not. So
yeah, I do remember I remember because we're rolling on this movie, and there were all kinds of surprises. If you remember, my brother was in it. There was all kinds of things going on. First of all, it was called Burning Dog.
Correct.
Right. And it was super cool.
Yeah. It was all the POV from the camera.
That's right. The main character of the movie was the viewer.
Correct.
Right? So we kept looking at the camera going, hey, come on, keep going. And it was me and Salvatore, and it was really fun. I love that whole spirit. And you've done a lot of films like that.
I've done a lot of films like that. But funny enough, I had that homeless outfit from some film I did that I've used a few times, and then I used it. A friend of mine was doing a music video for Mark Lanigan. Mm-hmm. You know Mark Lanigan?
I know the name.
Yeah. Anyway, he's. Do you know Mark Lanigan? Mm-hmm. No. Yeah, he was in Screaming Trees.
I knew he had like didn't he have a solo career?
Yes, but he was in a
Yeah,
famous
Screaming Trees.
Screaming Trees.
There you go.
So it was part of the grunge movement.
But he was
Anyway,
also in Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the
he had
Stone Age.
he had
Have you
run
heard of
with-
them?
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Huge. You've heard of them, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Big,
I
big.
showed up. It was another one of those indie situations. And I said, hey, I got this homeless gear. Do you want me to show up to my director friend? He goes, yeah, come out there. Well, Mark didn't know that we were shooting at a bridge underneath downtown.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you see this homeless guy just like grooving to the music and they're playing live. And he flipped and he loved it. And he's like, keep that guy here. And he didn't realize this was an actor. But
It's so funny.
I
They're
don't
like,
think anybody told him either.
this guy's digging our music.
So this is the same situation. It's like I showed up, I did my thing,
Yeah.
and that was it.
You're producing a bunch of stuff. So it's one of those things where people think, oh, I made a movie. And that's when the work begins, man.
Yeah.
Really
No
getting
kidding.
it out and marketing it and having somebody distribute it and all of that. So yeah, there it is. The Burning Dog. And you can see it's POV. It's almost real time, the
Yeah.
whole movie too.
And Salvatore, I
Yeah.
knew this guy. It was my first acting class out here, and it was at the Loft Studio with
Yeah.
Peggy Fury. And
Right, of course.
Yeah, and he was there.
And if people recognize, he is on the Schwab commercials.
Correct.
Salvatore's been like Mr.
Yeah.
Schwab forever.
Yeah, both him and I, we ended up, we obviously were studying drama, comedy, and stuff, and then we both become these commercial iconic guys in a strange way. You know what I mean?
I know. So what is it like? So you're the Geico Caveman.
Yes.
How did that happen? And also, it must be the greatest gig outside of sitting in the chair for a long time and then
Yeah.
taking all the makeup. I mean, can you imagine? Like Jake was on in Big Ass Spider.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
sat there for a while, right?
That was a nightmare.
I mean,
But it was a lot of fun at the same time.
yeah. I mean, Jake was like, "I want to be in the movie." We're like, "Okay, of course." And he was in a cocoon.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they
Rattled
put all
me
the
up
spider.
like a cocoon, and I'm just sitting there, like not even laying down. I'm sitting there.
Yeah,
And,
attached
like,
to a pole.
Yeah, attached to a pole.
But what's the makeup
It
like
was
for you?
insane.
Now, you definitely have to have patience, and I think I
Yes.
just have a high tolerance for.
Look at this,
I
dude!
have a-
Look at
I-
this!
Oh my God.
I have a high tolerance for being
awesome.
uncomfortable and in a lot of pain, I think. So, yeah, it would be like 2 to 3 hours of that, depending on if they're covering your arms and legs. But I used to do a lot of theater in Los Angeles, and so they happened to see me in this crazy play, and I played this punk zine writer. And the directors were there. I came in, I read for them, and then I did that for about a decade.
That's insane.
And then it went off for a decade, and then last year I did another whole year of it.
Right.
So you can't predict it.
And then, are you going to be doing more?
I don't know. You never know.
And the original thing that you did, that
Yeah.
play, was it that same sort of dry?
I was very angry. I was very but it was a lot crazier. The whole joke with that is he's supposed to be semi-sophisticated and
Yeah.
educated. My thing was completely different. It was out there. But I guess they just liked something I did. And we didn't know how big it was going to get, obviously. We had no idea. And the great thing about it was I was so worried that I was going to get labeled as that guy. No one knew it was me, and I kept quiet for most of the decade. And so that I would come in early, they put the makeup on, I'd do my stuff, and then they'd take it off. I'd walk through the same crew, and they didn't even know it was me. And I never said anything, and I just kept it quiet.
Why?
I just didn't. I don't know. Back then, you couldn't do commercials.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I know, but back then
it's so funny looking at you like that. That character is so good.
Now it's okay. I mean, Samuel Jackson's doing commercials. Like, it
Right, of
doesn't
course.
matter.
No,
But
no.
Back then, 20 years ago, everybody was worried about like, oh, you don't want to be the
thing,
thing or the who's
Yeah,
there
yeah.
or what's there.
You
or
wanna
the-
be labeled.
the beef guy or what, the
Right.
beef old lady or something. Like you didn't want to be that
How
person.
much makeup was that?
That was a lot. It was a lot of prosthetics and,
Yeah.
and the wigs and the hair and the hands and all that.
Oh
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
Cheeks
Let's not
and-
talk
yeah.
about hair. So
Yeah.
when you get back, I would
just
love. I'd love hair on the hands.
I love that there's a Glenn Fittich red carpet as this.
Yeah. What's up with that? You're on a red
No,
carpet.
so there's a picture of me, and it might have been from that. I went to New York, and it was for a Scottish charity event for Sean Connery. He liked me enough where he wanted me to fly out. I was in a kilt, and it was a fashion show. And like
That's
Andy
so
McDowell was there.
good.
All these different people were there, and I did a runway show. And then I met him afterwards, and I mean, he was quite old, and he was a great guy, super nice. But I don't think he knew I was in makeup.
He thought you were an actual caveman.
He just thought that was me, and he was very nice. We just talked and chatted.
Oh my God!
So it was a real trip, and that means that they did their job. They
Right,
looked
that's
real.
what I was. Yeah, that was my point. Yeah, which
it was
is
great.
Which is awesome. Do you have anything from?
I don't tend to keep a lot of stuff.
Because you've been in iconic.
I've been in a lot of stuff, and even like I'll go to these conventions, and people will have my whole wardrobe, from belt buckles to boots to everything
For you to sign.
to sign the clothes, because they have a whole mannequin of a costume I was wearing. I don't know how they got it.
through auctions.
Yeah, there's a lot. And the funny here's we'll talk about him shortly, but Rob Zombie, he asked me on the last day when we shot the Munsters. He goes, "Hey, are you gonna get anything from the?" I go, "Here we're in Budapest too. How am I gonna get it back and everything?" I don't think like that. Meanwhile, Dan Roebuck, who played the Count,
Yeah.
he had his whole, he has a cave, he has the whole outfit like in a
got like a
box. He has
separate
got everything.
suitcase.
And the cape.
The whole,
awesome.
suit, everything.
Just leaving with it.
Yeah. But I go, I usually don't. But meanwhile, we're in the middle of shooting. It was the last day.
Look at that.
And you talked about the suits and stuff. There was a whole muscle suit I had to wear and everything.
Yeah.
That was just drenched. We had two of them. At lunchtime, I'd take it off, and it was just like dripping wet, and then I'd put on another one.
I'm looking at. Oh God, really?
But let me just finish the story. So I said, I don't know. I usually don't. So then I'm like, maybe he's right. He came in at lunchtime. He said that was the last day. And then I went to wardrobe and makeup, and I said, "Hey, whatever happened to the jacket I wear, the leather jacket?" And they're like, "Oh, Rob took it." And like as I went through every list, he already got it.
He took it. So he was checking to see if you had already taken it.
No, he already took it all. So there was like,
But like even the wig, like you could have taken the head, the top of the head. I mean, for people
they
that are
had
just
a whole-
listening to this, we're looking at you as
A
Herman
neck
Munster.
bolt, just one neck bolt.
Yeah, neck bolts. Why
I
didn't you
have
keep
a neck
that?
bolt, maybe.
You do?
Yeah, but like even the bust of me, he took every. He does collect all that, so
Okay.
yeah, more power to him.
They
and
call it- so
and it's his anyway. It's his vision and everything.
So have you
know,
been made
no,
since
this is
Rob
fun.
Zombie movies and the horror movies? Have they done a head to toe version of you?
Yeah, I've had that a couple times. Sure.
You have.
Yeah.
So
I
for
don't
people
have
that
it,
don't
though.
know, it's they put the straws in your nose and they cover
That's
you
kind
with
of
goo.
old fashioned, but I've done that too.
Yeah,
Those are like freaky when you do
I
the
did
straw
that for the
thing.
Hollow
Had that
Man.
on home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the
was
Hollow
gonna say.
Man, I did it, and because my character had to lay in a pool of blood for 2 weeks, and thank God they had the budget.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we'll just make a fake version of you.
Yeah.
How weird is it though when you see a fake version of yourself?
You have this idea that I'm kind of decent, like, and then you look at yourself in 3 dimensions and you go, oh man,
I'm horrible looking.
It's such a disappointment.
You lose a little
You're
around the midsection.
Holy shit!
No, I
Look
look and I
at
go,
my profile.
Right.
I look like an old Vincent Price
So
character.
from the Hollow Man, they
It's
do
such
that.
a
But when they do
humbling-
that, they put a bald cap
Yeah,
on you,
of course.
and they do the whole thing, and then they make a maquette.
Yeah.
So maquette is like a ceramic bust of
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I still have it.
Oh, you have it?
It's in the garage. I took it. It's so funny. Now I lost my hair. I look at that thing. It now looks exactly like me. And I'm like, for years I was like, God, my head is really round and whatever.
Yeah,
Now
I got-
look at that.
I got my bust in my head.
The helmet.
Helmet, yes.
Oh,
So
nice.
we're
Yes.
working on Star Trek. This is a
We're doing
good
that
story for
helmet.
epilepsy. So we're working on Star Trek, and I see on social media these guys are making helmets for skateboarders.
Oh.
And it's like it's a flat thing. It's like neoprene, but it's flat, and it's got a little, and it's like webbing, not a webbing, but it's like spread out like your fingers in your hand. And when it comes together inside a baseball hat.
Yeah,
you put
yeah.
it inside a baseball hat,
Oh, nice.
and it becomes a helmet. So a kid can wear that, not having to wear a helmet.
Right.
Jake, fortunately, he's living well with epilepsy. You're
Yeah.
doing great.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
have to wear helmets, and I was like, there's a market here to help these kids feel normal. So, and JJ, being his godfather, JJ Abrams, was hey, wait, we're working on Star Trek. These guys are making stuff all the time. Let's bring Jake in. So he went in, but he did the version that you're talking about. You did a digital version. They didn't.
Oh, that's good. That's more recent, though.
Yeah.
They even do that for if you buy like in-ear monitors now.
Yes.
It's a digital. They used to do a mold and you'd have to lay and.
Right.
And
I just did the mold not too long ago.
They're still doing the mold?
They're still doing the mold, but they also still forget to call you, and the order doesn't come in, and you have to get your money back. That still happens too, by the way. At Ear
Did
Doctors.
you order from 1986? What is this service?
Exactly.
It's all phone. They do the mold.
They put me on hold, and I heard, oh! I'm like, we're getting a fax. We're getting a fax. Yeah.
I'll connect you.
Exactly.
Switching boards.
Oh, what I was going to say about the molds, the heads, there's certain places that have my mold for the caveman stuff. And there's this guy, Tony Gardner. He's like a legendary guy. Yeah, he's a legendary guy, and he did the caveman stuff. So he has my head, but yeah, and he was on the forefront of all this stuff. One of his first things he did was he was in Thriller, Michael Jackson.
Wow.
And he's about our age. So he was at USC film school.
He must have been 19.
And he dropped out because he got a gig with, I think it was Stan Winston.
Yeah.
Or,
oh, my God. And who directed Landau?
Landis.
Landis. Yeah, John Landis.
Then he became his own guy.
Yeah.
Like Adam's Family, he does a Chucky doll.
Right.
Like he's on the whole TV series. He does, and I actually helped him with animatronics with that. I did puppeteering.
You
once.
did?
Yeah.
Dude,
so he's just a great dude. He's like, So like those places have your stuff.
Yeah.
I know there's head busts around, and they call each other and go, "Hey, can we borrow that?"
I'm pretty
Wayne
handy.
Toth
I'm
did
pretty handy though, because this fat suit I actually made myself. So yeah, and I'm just working it in. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about why you're here. People are going, "I love this guy," but why is he on an epilepsy podcast? And also, why am I on this version of this amazing film that I want to talk about? And we'll
and Halloween.
And Halloween. We'll talk about Halloween. All of that. When we come right back.
Coming up on Talk About It.
It was something I witnessed, and it was in a writer's workshop. We were all laughing, and then the next minute, he was on the ground having a seizure, foaming in the mouth, and I'd never seen that before. Mm-hmm. I was kind of blown away. Like, where did he go? Where did his mind go? What did he see?
Just want to break away for some quick Halloween safety tips for epilepsy. Halloween can be so much fun, and it is. The costumes, the trick-or-treating, and all the traditions. But if you have epilepsy or you care for someone who has epilepsy, there are some things that are important. You should be responsible. Just a couple little extra thoughts that you need to put into your journey as you go out and into the night. Ooh, happy Halloween. First, make sure that you're responsible about the candy. If you're on the ketogenic diet, sugar is definitely a trigger for everyone, with or without epilepsy. So be careful, and all of the sugar and the carbs that can shock your system and trigger a seizure, maybe replace all that candy with something keto friendly. If you're a caregiver of a child with epilepsy, use a creative way to take the candy out of the equation. Like, all right, let's gather all your candy and give it to somebody in need, and I'll give you a toy or money. Money! There you go. Who doesn't love money? I'll dress up as one of my characters for money. Secondly, avoid strobing lights. They're all over the place. They're popular in haunted houses and neighborhood decorations. If you see strobing lights in the distance, look away, or remember the trick that we taught you. Put one hand over your eye, and that'll give you a better chance with those strobing lights. And, you may say, oh, I'm not light sensitive, but you never know. You're exhausted, you're having fun, you're tired, you didn't sleep well, which we'll get to. Maybe go out when the sun is still setting. You don't have to go out when it's pitch black. And finally, this is a really simple but so important one. Make sure that you keep the schedule that you're on, right? Take your meds on time. Make sure that you get a lot of sleep beforehand. Don't forget or delay any of your normal routine. Eating healthy, eating on time. You're going to be going to a party. You don't know if the food's going to be good or something that you can eat. So eat ahead of time. Just take care of yourself. It's really easy to forget these things with all the festivities and the dressing up. All these things can really help avoid triggering a seizure. Happy, healthy Halloween. Let's get back to the interview.
I think the first time I saw you on a TV show, I didn't watch a lot of TV, but I was doing Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and I was in Covington, Georgia. And at nighttime, a bunch of the actors all got together in the lobby or whatever to watch a TV. And one of the actresses that was in the film was Bria
Grant.
Right. And she goes, hey, I'm on this TV show tonight. Let's all watch it together. And so we were watching Heroes.
It
could have even been the episode that you were talking about. I don't even know.
That
would have been even trippier. But I was like, what's this show? And she was explaining, we all have superpowers and this and that.
She was incredible, by the way. And we became very close.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
She's so talented. But she's a brilliant filmmaker now.
I know, and she's a big icon in the horror community. It's it's all these people came from the Rob Zombie world, and that was just one person. And that's when I saw you on TV. That's the first time I saw you.
And you were like, that guy's not a very good actor at all.
And I'm like, who is that guy? I got to get him for a movie in 20 years from now.
I hope I get to play a homeless guy in a really thrown together movie.
Isn't that crazy?
My God, that's so weird. I did not know that.
She was Laurie Strode's girlfriend.
Let's just talk about Halloween, because Halloween is a big time of year for a lot of people. My in-laws they live on a street. Where, no joke, it's just a street. It's not a city street or whatever. 20 to 50,000 people. I
love that.
Where adults that aren't dressed up come and go. And you're like, what are we doing? It's just madness. And Jake,
I think they block it off every year.
Yeah, they block off the street. It's so cool. And Jake, he sits there in a rocking chair and he just doesn't move.
Yeah, I'll go like this.
And then they come up to touch you.
Yeah.
I don't think he's real.
And the one thing, by the way, for epilepsy, because flashing lights can cause seizures. We make sure we don't do any flashing lights. We do the fog. We do, I control the music. We sit on the porch. And we give away, we have to go to Smart and Final. We have to go to Costco to get candy. It's fun. It's really fun. Is Halloween, like growing up, what was Halloween like for you?
Huge. We did that too. I had my father helped me make these tombstones, and I would do what you were talking about, but we'd rake leaves. I'm from Chicago, so we'd have these leaf piles and have these masks, like the heads of somebody, and then I would come out of the leaves.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
that's cool.
Halloween was a huge thing. Even as a kid, the whole dressing up, I was really into Lon Chaney. And so my mother and father gave me a tackle box, so I had all the skin cap, the mustaches, and all that stuff. And it's weird. It's like,
these guys have no idea who Lon Chaney is.
Lon Chaney walking with the Queen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Werewolves of London, man.
Speaking of Halloween.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Well, if you saw pictures of him, Phantom of the Opera, like all these famous, iconic roles. But anyway, it's like I was into that at that age, at like 7 years old. So it is funny that, meet the kid at 7, you'll meet the man kind of situation.
Yeah.
And whatever they were into then, a lot of times they're still into.
Okay, so now is it sort of like a dream to be doing this stuff? I mean, the movies, I gotta say, like I really enjoy that sort of spirit of like, it's a summer camp, we're all in this together. A lot of the stuff that you and I have done has been low budget stuff, where it's like independent stuff. I love the spirit of it because everyone's in it together. There's no hierarchy. It's like everybody's got a job to do, and hopefully if it all comes together, it works. And you have to be some sort of creative more than you would if you had all the money in the world.
Right.
And now you're doing your own movies. So like, how does that 7-year-old think of was this your dream always?
Well, so if you're talking as a kid, I was into art and I guess making people laugh. And then it went to art school and film school. And then at film school, then I fell into acting, working in other people's things, and I studied and I continued and do theater and whatnot. As I got more work, I met Rob Zombie. So when it comes to the Halloween stuff.
How did you meet Rob?
I just auditioned.
Oh, okay.
But he has
For which?
I auditioned for Devil's Rejects, and I told him that, and he goes, I don't know why you auditioned for it. I already had the whole, cast. And then, like within an hour, he was able to pull it up on his computer, my audition. Like he's just a mad genius of horror.
Right,
and a bunch of other types of movies, but that's what he's known for. But once you meet a guy like that who does everything, he's so passionate. Like you're wearing a T-shirt, he designed the logo on it. Like he's amazing. So
JJ's like that, by the way.
JJ, I'm sure he's like that, which I work with. Or I didn't work with him, unfortunately, but I worked on Westworld.
Yeah, exactly.
And he produced it.
Yeah. Were you a fan of Rob's music?
Yeah. Definitely knew it. But again, I don't know. there were holes in my horror history. Like I wasn't as well versed. I was more like the classic horror.
Yeah.
I knew him as the director, and then I went to his concert, and then I saw like he's just the Tasmanian devil up there. He's just this crazy, amazing performer live, and it's so weird to see him function and do animation, film, albums, whatever he's doing. That guy's constantly working.
Yeah.
And passionate and getting people together that have the same kind of integrity and work ethic. And that's kind of where we hit it off. Mm-hmm. And if he likes something, he adds more. He liked me. I did something on the fly where I played this crazy horror show host. He liked it so much, I opened at his concerts as this guy, priming the audience in front of like 10,000 people, just like winding them up. The movie didn't even come out, so they didn't know who I was.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he just enjoyed me, like, whatever I was doing. So it's great to meet someone like that in this horror world that's so respected and so invested. It's cool. So, yeah, there was some of that where, like, I was at a horror convention in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they had me talk to some young filmmakers. And it was just on the fly, and there was like 20, 30 people. And I started telling them how you could pull this off, low-budget movie making. And so I gave, it was more like the Robert Rodriguez method, like get your locations, make a list, think about the actors you can get a hold of, your friends, all the props, a car, vehicle, whatever. Then I talked about digital, technology.
Yeah.
And of course, some of those kids already knew it, but, Zoom mics, whatever it was. And then a bunch of table reads from my theater, world. And I came out of there after an hour and I was just like sweating they were so enthusiastic and so was I. And I told my friend about this back in Los Angeles when I came home and he goes, well, why aren't we doing it?
I know.
And so that's why, I've always done music videos, short films.
Yeah.
But that's what instigated this film that I'm talking about now.
Okay. So before you mentioned, I just want to tap into what you just said because it's interesting. You and I have come up in the traditional movie and TV content, even. We didn't use that word back in the day, but system where you have to get permission. People have to hire you. You're waiting to be hired. As an actor, people say, what is it like to work with JJ? And I'm like, well, he's the one who's making the call to me. I'm not going, hey, will you direct me? It's like that doesn't happen, as an actor. So you do at some point take ownership and go, I can do this. I want to take a crack at this. I want to take ownership in it. There's a lot of responsibility in it. After you do it for one time, I've produced a bunch of movies. You kind of go, I just want to go back to being an actor. It's so easy. It's not easy, but it is. You know what I'm saying? So when you first took that first jump, what was your first thing? It wasn't this, was it?
No, I actually did another feature. And I didn't get supported by the producers, and it was this. All I can say about that situation, we shot it, great people, as far as the cast I got, but it was just like those situations where they don't trust the director or the filmmaker.
Yeah.
I wrote it, I'm directing it.
Yeah.
I brought all my friends in. That kind of support, if you don't have that, it kind of knocked me out for a decade. Yeah. I just couldn't. It just broke my spirit. I was like, I just poured my life into this. And they chopped it up, and it was.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up on that. I want to talk about Kirsten Baja.
Here's a poster.
Yep.
That's
Look at that, baby. Look at that. Kirsten Baja. Dude.
And this is as low budget you can get. I got this from her Instagram. I got this from this was from an Instagram shot from I screenshot from the film. Like
you built this poster.
I just built a poster.
I love it.
That's how you do it.
I love it.
So you don't have the money, you got to make it happen.
And there is an aspect to a seizure-like behavior in this movie.
Correct.
So just tell me what the character does.
Well, the character, it was something I witnessed, and it was in a writer's workshop, and we were all doing these readings, and the person started laughing, and we were all laughing, and then the next minute he was on the ground having a seizure, and he was foaming in the mouth, and I'd never seen that before. Mm-hmm. And he actually had a friend there, and he kind of took care of him, and we paused, got him some water, and then we continued with the workshop, and it was something that stuck with me.
He came out of it?
He came out of it, and he sat there, and he was fine, and we continued, and I was kind of blown away, like, where did where did he go? Where
Yeah.
did his mind go? What did he see?
So
this
by the
stuck
way,
with
let
me.
tell you, in the epilepsy community, we say less time lost to seizures, because it truly is like an editor to that guy who was
Yeah.
in that workshop. He closed his eyes and blinked. That's
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
That was the editor took that time away from him.
Yeah.
You all saw him shaking and on the ground, tonic-clonic seizure. But to him, right? I mean, when you're having a seizure, it's been a while. Thank God, you're doing well. But like when you were at home and you're up in your room and you're having a seizure, and I'm going, Jake, are you okay? And you're having a seizure. You're having a full-blown convulsive seizure.
Right.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. And I just close my eyes and I'll wake up hopefully on my bed. Mm-hmm. Or...
And me screaming at you.
Yes, you screaming at me after my seizure.
So just
Well, he's used to that. I mean, that's just
that's true. He
screams
goes
at
to
me
bed
every
with me
day.
screaming at him, and he wakes up.
Basically, it's a seizure every day.
It is not. Don't say that. Don't say that. No, but it's interesting because, like, okay, I'll give you an example. We were on the set of Heroes. These guys did not come. My family did not come to the set a lot. Yeah. But when they did, they wanted to be in my trailer. They wanted to go to craft service. I mean, you know how kids are. Like, they don't. So this day, we're on the set of Heroes, and Milo had to have a seizure on camera. Like, the chances of that happening coming together. Yeah. So Jake's standing there, and all of the cast.
Wow, so he's there to witness an actor doing it.
Yes. Now, like
God.
you on this, supporting us with Talk About It.
Yeah.
Milo's been on. Milo's done Talk About It. All of that stuff. So he knew that, and he was like, they were rolling, and Milo goes, "Oh, wait a minute. Jake, I remember this like it was yesterday." He was like, "I have to have a seizure. Jake, what should I do? Tell me, how should I shake? Should my head shake? And what was your response?"
I think I answered, Milo, I'm having the seizure. I don't know. I don't know. Make it up on the fly.
Exactly. I'll tell you that. By the way, that's the PG version.
Yeah.
I was so proud of my son on the set. Jake said, "How the am I supposed to know?"
I didn't want to say that.
But it is true. Like, people, you just don't know. And it's funny. Before we came on, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
And you actually said you don't think you've actually witnessed.
No, you don't actually.
No, but have you witnessed someone else having a seizure?
Well, when I see someone having a seizure, like, let's say in a movie or on a TV show, it doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting because
it's like educating you.
Yeah, it is. It's educating me. Basically, I think I'm watching someone do what I do when I'm having a seizure.
Yeah.
And it's personal, so you're even more invested. You're probably
I'm
zeroed in on that performance.
Yeah.
Going, oh my God, that was me.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming up on Talk About It.
Just that memory of somebody clicking out for a moment, coming back.
Because it does stick with you.
Yeah. Oh,
The
man,
vision.
it did.
That's what the stigma
traumatic.
is all about, because it's so scary.
But nobody
Yeah.
spoke about it. So it's great that you have this show, because it was only till later. It's like, hey, do you remember that situation?
Oh, yeah.
When I see seizures being portrayed in TV and movies, I'm just like you. I'm very hypersensitive to it. They can't always get it right. Hopefully they do. When I'm involved in a project, I certainly make sure that they try their best to, or I give them as best advice as I can, having all the years of experience that we have with seizures and being in this wonderful community. Don't let it freak you out when you see things. Remember, the more people talk about it, the more people are exposed to it, then it won't be such a strange thing. That's our whole point here, is to talk about it. So even if they get it wrong, that opens up a bit of a discussion, right? And you can then use that and say, it's interesting, they used the seizure, but they didn't really get it right. What I would have done, or what I've seen, or what I know, it's a great teaching moment. So use those moments as a teaching moment, even when they get it right. Say, oh man, finally they got it right. Because I've had this experience. Just use it as a way to open up the dialogue, because the more people know, the less scared they'll be, and the more prepared they'll be. God forbid you or someone you love has a seizure. All right, let's get back to the interview. Jeff portrayed someone in this film that he did where he actually has seizure-like behavior. I wouldn't really call it a seizure, but he used that sort of state as a character moment to move story, and in these, dare I say, cheesy but really fun movies that he creates. It's just interesting that he used a seizure as a device, as he'll explain.
You saw that.
Yeah, I saw that, and then
Never forgot it.
never forgot it. And I just thought, oh, what if this broken man, this guy's an ex-con, ex-soldier, cop, and he has that on top of it. He's on medication. He runs out of his medication, and then it just starts ramping up. So
in the film, when he does sort of fall into these seizure-like,
that's when I got to use my make a creative choice of having all these kind of crazy visions and mindscapes and loops.
I just find it interesting because I'll be the red phone for people when they see a seizure in a movie or TV.
Yeah.
They'll call me and they'll be like, "Can you believe this?"
Oh, really?
A lot of times it's a joke. Like somebody's on the floor dancing, breakdancing, and they go, "Are you having a seizure? Are you dancing?" And it's like, okay, that's not funny. And it's stupid. But when people see Kirsten Baja, which I highly recommend everybody sees this, you have to know that it's a creative choice.
Yes.
It's not something that you said, I'm going to take advantage of a seizure that I saw once.
No.
It's not. It's like you're making a creative, and you're taking license with what you think could be in his own head.
Yes.
After you saw that, did you do any preparing? Did you go on?
I did not. I did no research. It was more that memory of somebody clicking out for a moment, coming back.
Because it does stick with you.
Yeah,
The vision.
It did. It really did.
I feel like it.
But that's what the stigma is all about, because it's so scary.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't want people to have seizures, but I want more people to see people have seizures and know, like you just said, man, the guy had this episode and then he came out of it and we resumed our thing.
Right.
That's 95% of the time.
Right.
As long as they don't hit themselves and there's no head trauma involved, people are fine.
Yeah.
And they should be treated as such.
Right.
So it's interesting.
But nobody spoke about it. You know what I mean? Afterwards, everybody was quietly so it's great that you have this show, because it was only till later. It's like, hey, do you remember that situation?
Oh, yeah. Everybody has the same story, though, when you talk to people. They're like, oh, I was in elementary school and this girl next to me, she fell and had a seizure. Everybody, and I know why, because 3 million people are affected by it.
Right.
But it's something that I wish people would just remember, like CPR. Mm-hmm. Just know that, there's certain things. Go to talkaboutit.org, learn those things. They're very simple. Right. But never stick anything in anyone's mouth when they're having a seizure. That's a myth. Certain things, as a filmmaker going forward, it's just, there's simple things that when I see it in a movie and it's depicted incorrectly, that does offend me. So I think that's a good thing. I really do. It's like taking seizure, talking about it.
Yes.
When I do get these calls, I'm like, yeah, but guess what? People are talking about this instead of not talking about it. And the more you're exposed to it, whether it be, through something. I mean, look, the title "Cursed" in Baja, that's going to offend people.
Yeah.
But very, very few. People are going to love this and go, oh, this is really interesting.
It's a B movie. It's a creature feature. It's this type of movies I used to watch as kids. I grew up in Chicago, so Sven Gulli, have you ever heard of him?
Yeah,
he was our guy. So Sven Gulli was our guy, and he was funny. And then they'd show these B movies.
Yeah.
And so I was always captivated by those and the creatures and all that kind of stuff. So.
And I know the way you work. You're so run and gun.
Yes.
How structured is everything on a project like this, and how bendable are you when you're shooting?
Yeah, so we shot in about 5 months, but it was only 15 days. So it's whenever the DP had some free time, he had all the equipment, and then I'd call everybody up, and we'd shoot 2 days here, 3 days here. And I love practical effects. And so I brought in another guy, Jim Ojala FX, and he did all the blood gags. And then I had the Chupacabra costume, who was done by Ted Haynes, who did my Herman Munster muscle suit, but he also put me in a giant ice cube for a commercial. I was locked in an ice cube, kind of like The Thing.
What commercial was it for?
It was a telephone company or cell phone.
That's so funny.
And then he also, I think, did the mask.
I was locked in a giant ice cube, as you are.
And then he also, I think he worked on the mask too. It was at, I can't think of the place right now, the place he used to work at, for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow, that's...
Yeah, so I knew the guy before, and then I talked to him about, hey, I'm thinking about making this thing. He goes, I love classic monsters. I love all that stuff. I love, I'll make it. So he made it. The film that I wanted to make didn't quite happen, so I had this thing ready. So when it came time for that list, all right, what do we got? Oh, I got a Chupacabra costume. We got a farm in Mexico. We have Altadena. There's a ranch we could shoot at, a bunch of cars.
I love it. See,
So that's how we pulled it off.
I love it. And we're, we don't want to give away, but you have a new project that we've been talking about.
Yes,
That
yes.
hopefully you still want me to be in.
Yes, I definitely do. And I was out visiting the location
you
last
were?
weekend. Yeah.
So not
it's
to give
amazing.
anything away, but this is going to be right.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
do something here. So it's like you use what you have. This is what I was talking about. It's there's a great thing with the movies that JJ makes and the
Yes.
movies that Rob Zombie makes. They have the budget and they're like, all right, let's build that, or you can dream it up and they'll build it. I love reverse engineering it when like you say, like, here's the list of the things that I have.
And we had a deadline because the actor strike was about to happen. Oh. So I was trying to knock this thing out, put it in the can, and then during the strike, I just edited it.
So, full circle, it's doing so well now.
Yes.
That there's a new poster. Even I'm not
It's not a
saying
poster, it's
look,
a
I'm
whole
not
set.
saying you stealing photos isn't creative, okay? But it's nice that they're actually going to put real marketing energy
so
behind
this guy's name is Mitch O'Connell. He's this artist out of Chicago. He's
Here, hold that up in front of your face there.
Okay, here.
So,
you
to
hold
your
it.
camera.
Okay. Yeah, so he's this amazing artist, does poster work. He does he does magazine
super
work.
cool.
And he also does tattoo work, and it's kind of in line with that. And so he did this poster for a screening we did of Kirsten Baja. We did it at Fright Fest in London. We screened it. And then we did a screening in Chicago at this cool old theater, the Davis Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And he made this for us. And then we talked to him. And Anchor Bay Entertainment is the one that's releasing this.
Wow.
And
they're
want to
big
do
time. Anchor Bay's real.
Yeah, well, they want to do a special edition because it did so well in the DVDs and the Blu-rays. So we're doing that. And yeah, it's
Is there any possibility of a Kirsten Baja 2?
there could be. I still have the costume.
That's all he cares about. Still the costume. I still know the guy in Mexico.
And I didn't die. So
And I didn't die.
Yeah. And luckily, like a lot of the actors were, like, there's footage during those Mindscape mind loop things. Like the kid in this, he's not a kid anymore. He's a rock star. He does a lot of stuff out of Mexico right now. But his name is, his band is Love Ghost, Finnegan Seeker Bell. And I've known him since he's 2 years old. So you'll see Super 8 footage of him since he was a baby. You know?
Wow.
It's just cool. Like I was able to use all these crazy clips and stuff of me over the years in the film.
That's so cool,
and that's
man.
kind of my thing. I always like Nicholas Rogue, John Borman. I love that kind of editing, and so
I love it. Okay, well, best of luck with this.
Thank you.
First of all, I love you, and thank you for being on Talk About It.
No, of course. Of course.
And just give everybody just an update, because we talk about you all the time, Jake.
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Luckily, I've not had a seizure in a very long time.
Yeah, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Let's knock on wood for that.
And by the way, I just want to interrupt that you have been doing great because you take your meds on time, you do all the things, you exercise.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, don't mess with this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just important. It's important that everybody that is listening to this, that's in the epilepsy world, Jake's a model for just doing the right stuff, doing what you know you should be doing. Don't do drugs. Don't drink alcohol. Mm-hmm. You're on heavy meds anyway. You know.
Right.
So.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Way to wrap it up, dude.
Yeah. No, great respect for you. I'm glad you have this.
So, by the way,
And you get a lot of people listening and knowing that they're not alone.
Yeah. Exactly. So Jake, we've sort of hinted that he was in Big Ass Spider.
Yeah.
And so in this new film coming up.
Which film?
That we're talking about.
Okay.
Jake.
Okay.
He's
Got it.
By the way,
Got it.
second degree Taekwondo black belt.
Oh, really?
So anything you need, man. Anything you need.
Anything
All
you need.
right.
And then the greatest musician that I know is
Really?
sitting behind there, Nick Marzak. So
It looks like the holiday break. We're making a movie.
let's go. All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks for being on Talk About It. You rock, dude, and all the best with this.
Thank you.
Kirsten Baja, check it out. Where can people see it?
You could see it on everything from Amazon to YouTube to Google Plus, Roku, all that. However, this is going to be Kirsten Baja, and it's Fear the Chupacabra. That's how they're going to.
So it's kind of a re-release.
Yeah, kind of a re-release. Like I said, it did so well this last year.
Yeah.
People want it, And I go to these horror conventions all year round.
Yeah.
I'm going to one next weekend in Canada, actually. But yeah, people are hungry for that. And that audience is so loyal and so passionate. And I don't know how I got so lucky to fall into that, but a lot of it has to do with Rob Zombie, like bringing me in. I did 5 films with him.
Yeah.
And and those people are great.
But it harkens back to the old time type of movies. So if you like that kind of movie,
old genre, B movie, whatever. Yeah,
that's cool.
And there's enough streaming platforms, so it could get out there.
Right. Awesome. Well, that's our Halloween episode. Thank you for joining us on Talk About It, dude. Jeff Daniel Phillips, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Jake, thanks for being on, buddy.
Of course.
I love it.
Anytime.
I love it. So anytime means you'll see more of Jake, hopefully. And Nick, you're the best. Stay safe. Have a good time. Don't let epilepsy or your seizure stop you from having a good time. Just know about where you're going ahead of time so that you don't get yourself into a situation where there's a lot of flashing lights or you're fatigued or whatever. Take care of yourself and have a good time.
Everything you just said, it's so easy. A caveman could do it.
I was waiting for that. Every time I hear that, I go,
Oh, God.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Talk About It with Greg Grunberg. Sponsored by Neurelis and by Jazz Pharmaceuticals. Thank you to our special guests for joining us, and thank you J.J. Abrams for the theme music that you're hearing right now. Talk About It is produced by Ken Lowenberg, Greg Grunberg, and Nick Marzok. Editing, directing, and incidental music by Nick Marzok. Go to talkaboutonvideo.com to watch these episodes, and as always, don't forget to talk about it. This podcast is a production of the Talk About It Company and Motel Podcasts.